Hi there, welcome back to my garden. Today I wanted to talk about some of the plants in my gardens that go to seed readily, that have just over time gradually kind of filled in spaces and have spread themselves out. And I thought this would be a good topic to talk about just because, I mean, they're free plants. So it's just really good to know of what options you could tap into to get more free plants that you can spread around your garden or that can kind of just fill in spaces naturally on their own. I tend to find that sometimes they can be kind of weedy, because they seed themselves so much, but prevention of that can happen by deadheading and cutting the plants back before they actually do that. But also the plants that go to seed and then those seedlings that grow wherever they choose to grow tend to be really pretty healthy and kind of self-sufficient. So I have some echinacea, for instance, that has gone to seed in the garden, and it looks better than any of the echinacea that I've planted, that I've purchased from the store. So that I think says something a lot about plants getting to grow just naturally how they want to grow, just from seed where they land, germinate when they want to germinate, and grow from the rain watering them. So anyway, I just wanted to walk you through the garden and show you some of those plants because a lot of them are about ready to be cut back. So I wanted to make sure that I recorded them and shared those with you before they are no longer showing up in my gardens for this season. So I'll turn you around and we'll start looking at some of those plants. Okay, so here's one plant that readily goes to seed in my garden. This is Foxglove. You can see, obviously I wouldn't plant it right here along the rocks in this pathway. As you go along here, you can see this mass right here of Foxglove that is getting really ready for me to pull it out. get it out of the way here. It starts to make quite a mess at this time of the year, and I want to pull it out before it releases all of its seeds. Rose campion is another one that really goes to seed well here in my garden. The foliage is beautiful. I love this texture. It's kind of like lamb's ear. It's very soft. But as you can see, this is right here in this pathway. I didn't plant it here. It just went to seed. And you can see this little pod here is done, and that will dry up. And inside there is about 17 million little black seeds that really are happy to grow wherever they land. You can see right here an example. That is both rose campion and foxglove in amongst those rocks there, and they don't need any help from me going to seed and growing and blooming wherever they want to be. This cushion spurge is another one that goes to seed readily. I do try to prune it back, take off the seed head so that it doesn't go too crazy. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to pull if it does end up someplace that I don't want it, but you can see it here. It's right here. It kind of just goes up the stairs here all along. There it is right there, and this was where it was originally. So it's just kind of made its way down here, and these are just the ones that I've let stay. I mean, I've pulled out quite a few. Fleabane is another one that goes to seed. You can see it here. Some people probably would just consider this a weed, but I don't really mind it. In this area, it just kind of keeps this space a little bit whimsical, a little bit kind of, it's just kind of light and airy, and I don't mind that here, but I do end up having to pull some of it out as it goes where I don't really want it to go, but generally it stays just kind of in this area. I haven't found it too many other places, but I did actually plant it probably up in the bed, and it's since moved its way down here into the gravel. There's definitely weeds that look like this, but This particular plant I did purchase and I did plant it. And it happily goes to seed. Hardy geranium is another plant that goes to seed very easily here in my gardens. This is one variety that is found all over. I don't recall what this one is specifically, but the mother plants basically are over there along that bed. So it's all the way over here now. I do transplant chunks of this around, but for the most part, when it's found other places, especially in random spots like that on the stairs, it has just gone to seed. Spanish lavender is another plant that goes to seed very easily here in my garden in Western Oregon. We're zone 8B, pretty dry in the summer, but pretty wet in the winter. And this is actually this isn't even the original plant. The original plant was in the bed. These are ones that have gone to seed and spread out of the bed. The original plants I got from my parents' garden that had gone to seed, and you can see they are sprouting up everywhere in my driveway. And I've pulled a lot of them. These ones I actually sometimes, and see, you can see there's some foxglove and there's some rose campion. These I let go for a little bit because sometimes I actually transplant them, but I don't find them the easiest to transplant. They have really shallow root systems, and once I pull them out, if I don't get them into good soil right away and really baby them, they don't transplant that well, but they sure do go to seed well. Another one that will go to seed and grow kind of wherever are these Spirea. Not all varieties of Spirea reseed themselves. This one, I don't know the variety, original variety, but I do have it growing a lot of places, and I have transplanted it around. These ones I'm just kind of letting go. There's kind of creating almost a little hedge back here of them. There's another one. This Spirea has been here for a long time, but I don't think that it's exactly the same variety, so I don't know. But again, I don't mind them most of the places where they've gone to seed. There's another one. They're easy to pull if I don't want them. There's another one. I don't find them, out in the woods or anything. They just kind of stay around here, so that's good. But I can pull them out, I can transplant them, but they're just another one that easily goes to seed. This isn't the best time to show it because it is not in bloom and all you can see is the kind of spent foliage, but this is Columbine, and it also reseeds very easily here in my own zone 8B garden in Western Oregon. You can see another one there. I have front beds that are full of Columbine. This is it also right in here. These ones have been really fun actually to watch because they seem to cross-pollinate, and I've gotten some unique variations of it, some doubles, some changes in color. So those are fun. Again, easy to pull, not too obnoxious, pretty in the spring when they come up and bloom. And I do generally, especially this time of year, I will come in and probably just prune these all the way back to the ground, and they'll push some new growth, but the foliage does get pretty gnarly. So I'll probably get cutting those back here pretty soon. Here are a few more plants in my gardens that have seeded themselves like crazy and just kind of come up wherever they want to. This hardy geranium, I wish I knew the name of it, but I don't. Unfortunately, I got it as a start from a friend of mine when I was first starting this garden, and she did warn me. She said it will try to take over. It's kind of a thug, and it is, but I don't know. I do keep it around. I think it is ready to be cut back. So you can see here up this path, It is right there and right there, all along here. Sorry for the crazy lighting, but this hardy geranium is definitely a plant that goes to seed and is happy pretty much wherever it lands. Another is Alchemilla mollis, which people mostly know as lady's mantle. It goes to seed for me, I think, primarily because I don't cut it back right away. But it is a really neat plant, and it's really pretty when it's first pushing out its new growth. It has these neat shaped leaves, and deer don't seem to bother them because they are kind of woolly. I've transplanted these around many places in my garden, but you can see there's another one right there. All the way down there is more of the hardy geranium that seeded itself. Nothing seems to grow right there because I think this is where the dogs must pass through a lot. But anyway, the lady's mantle, it does bloom a really pretty yellow, and then it just kind of fades to this seed head, which I think just still kind of casts, you know, a yellow flowering appearance, which is maybe why I don't get out here and deadhead it as much. But I had some planted intentionally right there along this little stone stairway, and it went from there up the path and then all right down here. And like I said, I've dug out the little starts and have put them lots of different places in the garden. Let's look at some of the plants in my garden that reseed themselves readily and just kind of grow wherever they want to. That to me is part of the definition of why I call my gardens a rustic garden, because I really kind of just embrace those types of plants, and I'm thankful for them because generally when a plant reseeds itself, it finds its appropriate place to grow, and it can do that without me having to really be involved, and it takes care of itself. So for the most part, I don't mind usually where they plant themselves, but if I do, I just pull them out. So anyway, sometimes it's nice to have those types of plants in your gardens that can just do their own thing, and you don't really have to worry about whether they're going to survive, because they just spread their seed and they just keep on going in your garden. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.